Hello there. This is lesson 4.3, addition of mixed numbers, lesson C. Third time we're talking about this. We've gone over the process of how to add mixed numbers, and we're going to practice that today. I encourage you to pause the video as soon as I give you these directions and come back to work the first problem with me. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to grab a whiteboard or a sheet of paper. I want you to have something near you that you can practice working the problem when you see it, and then watch me work through it to see that you are doing it the right way. Practice first. If you need to do it the other way and you need to watch me first and then practice, that's fine too. But by the end of this video, I'm going to go through 3 examples. So by example number 3, I really want you to practice on your own first and then come back to see if we did it the same way and if you got the same answer. All right, so let's get going. When we add mixed numbers, first of all, a mixed number, like where am I going to put me? Up here, that works better. A mixed number simply means we have a whole. So in this case, we have 4 whole. And we have a part, 3/5. We are mixing whole and part. So we're going to add 4 and 3/5 plus 7 and 1/2. The way that we do this, I'm going to get my pen tool. And again, pause the video, try it yourself, see if you remember the process. And if you need to do it the other way first, okay, watch me first. And then by problem 3, I want you to do it on your own. Okay? We start with the whole numbers. This is adding like you've always done. 4, I'm going to circle them in blue. 4 plus 7. 4 plus 7 is 11. All right. Whoops, there's not 111, Mrs. Lohoff. Seriously? Come on. Okay, 11. There we go. Let me change colors. I like purple. Now we're going to add the fraction parts. We've been practicing this for a long time. 3/5 plus 1/2. First thing we do when we add or subtract fractions is we have to look at the denominator. That number on the bottom, is it the same? No. We have a 5 and we have a 2. That means we need to find our least common multiple. If you can do that in your head, thinking about the multiplication facts of 5, thinking about the multiplication facts of 2 to come up with a common number they both have, if you can do it in your head, that's great. If not, let's use our chart. So our denominators are 5 and 2. This is literally copying the numbers from a multiplication chart or practicing your facts. So 5 times 1 is 5, and I'm thinking about the number 2. That isn't going to be on the 2 list. 5 times 2 is 10. Wait a minute. 10 will appear on the 2 list because 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 4 is 8. And here it is. 2 times 5. When we multiply them together, it's 10. We have found our least common multiple. That's the number they have in common on their multiplication charts. That's the smallest. And it's 10. So let's go back and fix those fractions. And I'm going to erase some of this so that it's cleaner looking. Our least common multiple is 10. So we're going to take 3/5 and we're going to turn it into a fraction where the denominator is 10. And we're going to do the same with 1/2. All right. To go from 5 to 10, we multiplied 5 times 2. If we do that to one part of the fraction, we have to do it to the other. 3 times 2 is 6. All right, bottom fraction, 1/2 to tenths. Well, to go from 2 to 10, we multiplied 2 times 5. Then I have to do the same thing to the top part or the numerator of my fraction. 1 times 5 is 5. Now we have denominators that are the same and we can add. So my new fraction will still have the denominator of 10, and we will add the numerators 6 plus 5. All right, 6 plus 5 is 11, and that is 11 tenths. Do you see this? Improper fraction. Improper fraction. My top number is bigger than my bottom number. That means I've created another whole unit. 11/10 is the same as 1 whole and 1/10 left over. If you need to draw that out to figure it out, go right ahead. Make a pan of imaginary brownies. Make a pan of imaginary pizza. I don't care what you make a pan of. But 11/10 would look like one pan, one complete pan that has 10 pieces in it. And my next pan is also going to be cut up into 10 pieces. We need 11 total, so that would be one of the 10 pieces. This is what 11/10 looks like right here. 1 whole and 1/10, which is what I wrote right here. 1 whole and 1/10. Well, we have to add that to our number. So we had 11 when we added 4 and 7. Now we have one more, so we have 12 and 1/10. So I'm going to cross that off because we had to add another whole unit from what came from the fractions. So the answer to this, and let me erase everything so you can see the original question. I got that one that time. And I want to erase this very carefully. Yes, there we go. The answer to 4 3/5 plus 7 1/2 is 12 1/10. All right, problem number 2. Here we have 2 1/3 plus 7 1/5. Pause the video, try it yourself. First thing we do is look at our whole numbers, 2 and 7. 2 plus 7 is 9. I'm going to erase that just so that it's cleaner as we work ahead. Now we're going to add our fractions. We have 1/3 plus 1/5. First thing we do when we add or subtract a fraction is look at the denominator. We have 3 and 5. They're not the same. We have to find the least common multiple so that they are the same. Maybe you figured it out in your head. If not, let's look at a multiplication chart. 3 and 5. Remember, I'm going to write out the numbers, the multiplication facts. I can copy it from the chart for 3, or I can practice my facts. It's a good time to practice. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. As I'm writing these numbers down, I'm thinking in my head, will these also appear on the 5 chart? And so far, no. If I count by 5s, I wouldn't get 3, 6, or 9. 3 times 4, 12. 3 times 5, 15. Well, that will appear on the 5 chart because it is 3 times 5. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. And 5 times 3, there is our 15. We have a common multiplication fact, a common multiple, and that's 15. And it's the smallest one that they have in common. All right, let's go back and change our fractions. So our least common multiple is 15. We are now going to build a new fraction here where our denominator is 15, and the same with this fraction. All right, to go from 3 to 15, we multiply 3 times 5. Means I have to multiply the top times 5. 1 times 5 is 5. All right, let's look at the bottom fraction. We went from 5 to 15. To do that, we multiplied 5 times 3. If I multiply the top times 3, 1 times 3 is 3. Now we have fractions where the denominator is 15, so we can add those numerators. 5 plus 3, so that equals 8/15. There's no improper fraction here. We have a fraction. We cannot reduce it to simpler terms. It is fine just the way it is. So we add that to our answer, 8/15. So when we add 2 1/3 plus 7 1/5, we get 9 8/15. All right, we are moving on to the third one. This is the one that I'm challenging you. Remember, I am challenging you to pause the video right now, copy this problem down on your paper or your whiteboard, and you do the work, then come back and watch me. Did you pause it? Okay, pause it now. Did you pause it? I hope so. I hope so. Challenge yourself. That's how you're going to learn. It's the same process again and again and again. First thing we do is look at our whole numbers, 5 and 1. 5 plus 1 is 6. That was easy. All right, now we're going to add the fraction parts. I'm going to change colors. We're looking at 1/4 plus 1/3. Did you look at the denominators? 4 and 3? They're different. That means we need to find our least common multiple. Think in your head of the multiplication facts for 4 and 3. What do they have in common? Did you come up with one? If not, use the worksheet. 4 and 3. All right. As I go through the facts for 4, I am thinking in my head, will this also be a fact for 3? 4 times 1 is 4. That won't appear on the 3's. 4 times 2 is 8. That won't appear on the 3's. 4 times 3, is 12. That's the turnaround fact. So 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. And 3 times 4, when we multiply those together, we're going to get the same number. That is our least common multiple. There it is, 12. All right, let's put it into our fractions. Least common multiple is 12. So we're going to change this fraction to be in 12ths. And we're going to change this fraction to be in 12ths. To go from 4 to 12, we multiplied 4 times 3. Have to do the same thing to the top. 1 times 3 is 3. All right, bottom fraction. We went from 3 to 12. We multiplied 3 times 4 to get there. So we have to do the same to the top. 1 times 4 is 4. Now we have denominators that are the same, and we can add this fraction. Our denominator will remain 12, and we're going to add, I switched the order. Let me erase that. The 3 came first. 3 plus 4. Well, that's 7/12. There's no improper fraction. Remember, improper fractions are when the top number is bigger than the bottom one, so we've created another whole unit. That's not happening here. And 7/12, I can't reduce that to anything less. So that is our final addition for the fraction part. And we put the two together. So our final answer for 5 1/4 plus 1 1/3 is 6 7/12. All right. I hope that you challenged yourself to do this on your own, and I hope that this process is making sense for you. Remember, if you have questions or need extra help, drop in at that 1 o'clock time. Ask me through an email, give me a call. I am here to support you and help you in your math learning. All right. See you next time. Bye.